Welcome to the Behlool Muharram Radio Part 2. Now, due to popular demand, we are ready to start again with our brother Sheikh Nuru, who will be leading the discussion today, and I'm joined by brother
Hassan Farooq. Assalamu alaikum everybody, I hope everybody's well, and let's get this thing started.
Assalamu alaikum. As usual, it's Masai Kareem here with the rest of us. Unfortunately, our brother Muntazir couldn't make it tonight because he's feeling a bit under the weather, so we pray for his quick recovery. And we also have with us tonight a special guest who has joined us.
My name is Brother Alias Arya. Welcome to the Behlool Radio. I look forward to learning from Sheikh tonight.
Thank you. And also our esteemed guest, Sheikh Mohammed.
It's a great pleasure to be here once again, and I look forward to hearing your questions and your comments. Inshallah.
Thank you. And also our number is on the screen on your YouTube channel. So please get involved, send us text messages, WhatsApps, give us calls if you got any questions, and get involved with the discussion. And we also have one more esteemed guest tonight. He's a bit shy, but we are going to make him introduce himself. He has been on the radio maybe about 8 years ago, and his name is
Amar Kareem.
From where?
From Leicester.
He's a bit shy, but he will learn the ropes, and inshallah he will be carrying on the radio in the future, inshallah. Okay, so we're going to kick off straight away with Brother Hassan, who's going to start us off.
Assalamu alaikum Sheikh, how are you?
I'm good, Brother Hassan. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Coming to the end of your road with Leicester then, you'll be leaving us?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Tomorrow we'll be heading towards Birmingham and to continue with the life as it was before coming here.
We're gonna miss you a lot.
No, we'll miss Leicester also, but inshallah it's close by. We'll always catch up.
Hopefully you can grace your presence with here again.
It's a great pleasure. You guys have been good here, man. We'll miss you guys.
Thank you. So we've thought of some really good topics today, inshallah. Some thought-provoking topics as well.
Yeah.
The first one that we'll go into, coming from a Sunni background myself as well, and you also coming from a Sunni background.
Yeah.
We have been taught from to fast on the day of Ashura, the 9th or 10th, to fast both days, or if you can't fast one day, at least fast the 10th. And they give us many evidences to say that this is the reason why Musa alayhi salam did something, and Isa alayhi, there are many reasons behind it. I came across actually some Shia hadiths that came up and said that the certain hadiths that were there to fast on the 9th and 10th of Muharram. So I was wondering, hopefully you can shed some light onto there and say what the correct reason is, and if these hadiths are fabricated, for what reasons they were as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brother Hassan, for this very important question. And this question normally becomes a locus of contention in the first 10 nights of the holy month of Muharram. And of course, as you rightly pointed out, you have a Sunni background. I also have a Sunni background. And I do remember very well when I was a Sunni, during this time of the year, we would fast.
Yes.
And then, of course, there is another teaching that I don't know whether you have it here, but coming from Africa as a Sunni. So they used to say, if you do not eat and get to the level of satisfaction, like filling your tummy on the 10th day of Muharram, you will never be satisfied in your life. Okay. So in Ghana, like, we have that kind of thing. Although there are scholars who have gone, say, to Saudi Arabia to study, when they go back to Ghana, they tell people this is bid'ah, this is not allowed. But now let's just come back to your question regarding the fasting on the 10th day of Muharram.
Permissibility.
Whether it's permissible or it's not permissible. Obviously, if you go through our jurisprudence, our fiqh, we do not have a teaching that says it's haram to fast. Okay? So look, it's not allowed, it's makruh. But some scholars are of view that it can get to the level of haram depending on the reason as to why people are fasting. Okay? Of course, one of the reasons which you alluded, he said, look, the Yahud, when the Holy Prophet reached Medina, he found the Yahud fasting. And he asked them, why are you fasting? And they said, because this is the day that Musa obtained victory over Pharaoh. And because of that, we are fasting. But as Shias, lovers and followers of Allah, we question this tradition. Why do we question it? We said, oh, so Prophet didn't know when Musa obtained victory, that the Yahud had to tell Prophet
Yes.
that they are, you understand?
Yes.
And
Questioning
then,
the intellect of the Prophet.
interestingly, this question that you are asking, Brother Hassan, yesterday, I was just yesterday after Ashur Maktal Majlis, I went to home to rest and prepare for my Shami Garima. So I decided to go online to watch the classes that are normally taking place in the Holy Mosque in Makkah. They normally have classes there, and sometimes it comes online. Interestingly, the Sheikh, who is one of the greatest Sheikh in Saudi, was talking about the fasting on the 9th and the 10th. And he mentioned this tradition.
Okay.
That the Yahud, they were fasting. Prophet asked them, why are you fasting? And they said, you know what? Musa obtained victory. And we are fasting. The Prophet said, if I remain alive by next year, I'll also join. So we say this hadith is weak. Okay. Another reason which we have as to why people fast and they celebrate is something instituted by Banu Umayyah. Okay. That is why if you read Ziyarat Ashura, Tabarrakat bihi Banu Umayyah Qatiba, said that day when Banu Umayyah consider it as a barakah and they celebrate that. So there are those who also fast. But if you fast seeking nearness to Allah, there is nothing wrong with that. But the unfortunate part is that most of the Muslims who fast, they fast because we are celebrating Moses' victory, we are celebrating that victory. Okay, fine. Arguments. Assuming that all those traditions are right, which win out, and time will not permit me to scrutinize all these traditions. Was Imam Husayn killed or not? Everybody was killed.
Yes.
So which one overpowered the other? You understand?
Yeah.
So assuming these victories happen, assuming for argument's sake, Imam Husayn was brutally butchered. Do we remember him or do we celebrate that day? So hence, the fasting is neither here nor there. Okay. But if you do it for the sake of Allah, why not? Like any other day, there's nothing. That is why as Shias realize that we are just recommended to do is not wajib, and which I found many Shias do. All of us we do what is called faka. Faka means you stay away from food, so that you are not happy that day up until after I show program, and then you can take something simple.
Thank you, Sheikh. Just to add to that as well, I mean, when I told my mom the same thing, what she said to me is because Imam Husayn was left 3 days without water or food, she said the reason why I'm fasting is not for the intention that Musa alayhi salam, achieved victory over Pharaoh, but it was more the reason because of how they suffered. She wants to stay away from food and water for that reason, because how Abu Abdullah and companions were
so
treated.
if it is for her to feel the pain that Abu Abdullah and his companions went through, why not? It's not a problem.
So that would be okay then?
Yeah, that would be okay. Because you are not doing it to celebrate. You are not doing it to emulate Banu Umayyah, or you are not doing it for victory of Musa. Just want to feel how Abu Abdullah went through. Why not?
So that is permissible.
Yeah, that's
okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think we also have it's not a full fast, but until Zahar on the day of Ashura,
Yeah, faka. Just to feel the pain that Ahlul Bayt had to go through. Yeah.
Okay, just getting a bit of feedback that people are struggling to hear Sheikh. So maybe we can try with.
So maybe I need to speak well. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, you write and say yeah.
Give us some heads up.
If you cannot hear me, then let me know, man.
We can try and switch to the headset maybe.
Yeah, that would be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give us a second. We got some technical difficulties. Okay, give us your feedback if you can hear us clearly now, and we'll continue. Again, obviously, please get involved with our discussion tonight. We do have some very interesting topics to talk about. It'd be even more interesting if you all get involved with us and send us some messages. Oh, another technical difficulty. Excuse us for a second.
Yeah, if you can hear me, brothers and sisters, just give us a thumbs up. I
do apologize about that.
Sincerely apologize for the inconvenience.
Okay, so moving on. We are going to discuss our next topic, inshallah, which just gonna find because we've got it all in order tonight.
If the voices are okay, if you can hear us loud and clear, just give us some clue.
Thank you. Moving on, basically, one of the things that we wanted to discuss tonight was barzakh, which is something that we all have to go through after our death. And I wanted to know, basically, during this waiting period, as it is between the time that we pass away up until Judgment Day, do we live in a world where we're doing the same thing as we are now? And for example, if I die tomorrow, what will I be doing in barzakh? Am I just in a waiting, or what's happening at that time?
Very good. I think this is a very important question that so many people now and then ask this question. Although people believe in life after death, but they want to know more about what will happen after we depart from this world before the day of Qiyamah. The whole concept of barzakh are discussed even in Quran and in the traditions of prophets and Ahlul Bayt alayhi wasallam. Now the question is, what is barzakh? Barzakh, when scholars discuss barzakh, they equate barzakh to a transit hall. Transit hall meaning when you traveling, whereby you're not taking a direct flight. Say you're going to Najaf and you're taking Qatar Airways, for instance. You have to go to Doha, and from Doha you proceed with your trip, isn't it? So when you are in Doha, be it an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, that's a transit, because you have not reached your destination. You're still on your way towards your destination. So from here we realize that barzakh is not the main destination. It's our way to the destination. Our question: what exactly happens there when a person dies? That's your question. You see, when a person dies, many brothers and sisters, you get washed and you get buried. When you are buried, narration taught us, it may be a bit scary, but it's very important and we need to know. The moment they pour soil on you, you know, we are told the first sense that works in a person is the sense of hearing. And the last sense that works in a person is a sense of hearing. And you have two reasons for that: natural reason and psychological reason. Natural reason is very simple. That Islam taught us, when a mom is pregnant, she should always listen to the verses of Quran. If she so desire that her child to be born, to become Hafiz of Quran, when she listens more, it happens. You've seen it happen. And you realize when a person dies, when he's buried, we recite Talaqi. Why do we do that? Because we know the sense of hearing is working.
So even after someone's passed away.
So when you die, the moment you are buried, whatever people say, put soil that way, put soil this way, you hear. But when you talk, people cannot hear. That's the beginning of burial. So when they carry you to your grave, soul is taken, it's gone. But the moment you are placed in that hole, 6 feet under, soul comes back. What happened? That's the beginning of burial. 2 angels will come, Munkar, Nakir. They will come. And the moment they enter, so wake up. These are your people who they love you. And for them to demonstrate your love, they do nothing but to pour soil on you. Questions are going to start. But mind you, these questions, it doesn't matter if you know Arabic, you are the best Arabic teacher. If you are a good person in terms of your love for Allah, you'll be able to answer the question. Otherwise, finished. So as narration mentioned, the soil may squeeze you and release you. It may squeeze you and release you. So barzakh is life of soul without body, material. Dunya, soul, body. Akhirah, soul, body. But barzakh is only soul. You look at your life. When you have an injury, any part of your body, it's your soul that gives the signal of the pain. That's where you feel the pain. But if you don't have a soul, you will not feel any pain. So barzakh, what is going to happen there? If you are a good person who pray your salat, during salat time, Allah will send a beautiful creature to come and be with you and console your soul. And if you happen to be a bad person, another different creature will be sent to you to come. So barzakh, there is punishment and there is enjoyment depending on how you departed from this world up until the day of Qiyamah. So how you departed, that's what happened. Some snakes may come in the grave. Some scorpions may come in the grave. Some, the grave will be illuminated. So there are so many things. But barzakh, in short, to say, if you are a person of Jannah, you start seeing it. If you are a person of hell, you start seeing it. So many people ask a question, but is Allah not so merciful, not so forgiving? Why should Allah punish? So now you've missed out something. If you look at our lives, 80% of our lives is interaction with people. You wronged me, you hurt me, and you just go, nothing happened. In barzakh and Qiyamah, that is where people will get their punishments. So therefore, barzakh is not a joke. Quran mentioned. We need to prepare. Otherwise, it will be a big blow. Okay?
Just continue on from that. So, is barzakh spent in your grave, or is it like another world where, for example, you're living and being obviously good question, being punished or not?
Absolutely, your barzakh is not limited to your grave. It can be anywhere. That is why we have a tradition that says people who have departed from this world, every Thursday night, they go to their houses, wishing that people will be doing something meaningful, maybe doing good deeds, maybe reciting Quran. They said when they go and they see them doing something wrong, they cry. They said, I wish you know what I am in, now that I need you more. So barzakh is not necessarily that grave. Yes, when we make dua, we go to that grave because that is the point of departure. And as they said, when a person dies, when they remove the soul, they won't take the soul to the seventh heaven. But there are two forms of soul: soul of a good person and soul of a bad person. When they are going with the soul of a good person, the aroma, the smell is unbelievable. All angels will welcome it. But when they are going to the soul with a bad person, the smell is unbearable. So therefore, it can be anywhere. Like Qiyamah. Many people ask, where will the Qiyamah be? It will be here on this world. Allah will flatten everything and come for your body. So barzakh can be anywhere, not necessarily that grave.
Okay, so reflecting on what you just said, you know when you go to Ziyarah and you go to Najaf and you go to Wadi Salam, you hear narrations about if you were a good person and your soul was good, wherever you are buried in the world, then end up in Wadi Salam. So how does that fit into this then? Is that the case where wherever you are buried, your soul will end up in Wadi Salam?
Yeah, you see, soul, the capacity of soul is not limited compared to the capacity of material body. That is our chief component. Yes, it has limitation comparing it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But soul can travel about. When you sleep, you know sometimes you can travel the entire world while you are sleeping. Dream. As we're going to discuss that, okay? But dream is a soul thing. Although most of the dreams that people do a dream is a soul thing. Soul can travel about. And if you dream somebody, it's the connection of your soul to the soul of that person. So yes, that tradition is a right tradition. That, according to Ahlul Bayt, the soul of a moment will travel to Wadi Salam. And of course, the soul of non-woman will go somewhere else. So yeah, the capacity of your soul can be in Wadi Salam enjoying. Your soul can be in Jannatul Baqi enjoying. Your soul can be next to your house enjoying. There is no limited place for soul. It can be anywhere. And we believe Wadi Salam is the best place. And each and every one of us will wish his soul to pass by there. Yeah.
Thank you, Sheikh.
Oh, thank you, Sheikh. Sorry, I'm going to ask another question to you on regards to the same topic. When you said, there'll be smells, and if they've been a good person, you'll have a bigger grave. If you're a bad person, you'll have a smaller grave. So from that point, that person knows already that they're going to be going to hell or heaven from that, or can anything change in between?
Very good question. You see, before death, on your bed, see hospital bed, home bed, you know where you are heading to. But that doesn't mean that it's the end of everything. It can be changed.
Okay.
It's a good question. And that shows the mercy of Allah and the love of Allah. I'll tell you how it can be changed. See, Quran mentioned there are those when their souls are removed. They are unjust to themselves. They did a lot of injustice to themselves. You know the end. And there are those no good people. Now let's talk of the one who realizes that, look, now on this bird, I'm going. Because you know when a person dies, turn left, right, left. That's the removal. Removal also is very painful. As our imams explain, it's like you are alive. Somebody begin to peel off your skin. That's the removal of the soul. In fact, there is ayah in Quran where Allah said, "La yazukuna fiha illa al-mawtata al-ula." Allah said, in heaven, they will not taste anything bitter except the taste of their first death. Here, our imams interpreted, they said, the pain of the death will travel, will take that long to get out of the body of a person. You know, it's like you finish operation now, you come back, that pain. But how do you reduce the level or even remove it completely to be a person of hell? Is how we can do it. People that you leave behind, especially your sons and your daughters, if they do good deeds and good action, then God goes to you and Allah will illuminate you. That's it happened during the time of Prophet Isa, that they happened to go to the grave, and they were passing by a grave, and Isa told them, this person in this grave is receiving punishment. After some time they came back, the person was in joy. So now he left a lady who was pregnant. She gave birth to a child. The child grew, and the child now is doing high, reaching out to people. And because of that, Allah has changed the situation of the father to higher.
Okay, so the good deeds of the son or the daughter,
Or even any person that you leave behind.
okay. So would it work the opposite if they were bad people? Then would they also suffer?
If the people you leave behind, bad people, they don't bother, then it doesn't help. But then it doesn't stop there with your children and your family. Mu'minin, if they remain. Like the mosque said, Fatiha for Muhammed. It goes a long way. In fact, Prophet mentioned when a believer dies, and during his or her janazah, 40 people come together and they chant and recite, Ya Allah, we know nothing from this person except khair. Allah will forgive that person. So there are so many opportunities. Sadaqah, majlis on behalf of the marhum, going to the grave, sprinkle water. They said water is a source of barakah, is a source of blessing. So it will be difficult for somebody to receive punishment unless really shadi and tyrants.
Just while we're still talking about Barzakh, we said that it's the same world sort of, but different in its own way. But do they still have to do their own wajibats there as well? Like namaz,
that's a good
fasting?
question. After death, those things are over. After death, the moment Azrael goes to a person, taklif, responsibility is over. It's either enjoying or suffering the pain of the consequences of your deeds in this world. Yes, if a person dies and he owes a lot of salah, people can look at the khair. So long as that salah is not paid off, it's a problem. So if somebody owes, that is why his family must pay for those who are alive to either fast on their behalf, pay their homes on their behalf. If they are people of paying zakat, they pay zakat on their behalf. Hajj, wajib, they couldn't make it, that can make life difficult for them. And the other thing which will make it even more difficult in Barzakh is the right of people. You've taken somebody's money, you don't want to give back, and you can afford. Prophet said, a mayyit would be chained. A mayyit who owe and refuse to pay would be chained in his grave until what he owes are paid back to the people that the money belonged.
So like you said, we can pay people to do qaza namaz.
Yeah.
So let's say we pay someone
After you depart
after we depart from the sun, and then they don't do it.
So that's a
Then
good
what
question. So if say you task someone to do the namaz of your late marhumi, and you give in to that person you trust, that's very important. I trust you will do. The person goes and he does something, Allah will compensate them. That should be the problem. At least you've done your part, and Allah will. But the other thing which is the most difficult is if you hurt someone and you fail to go to the person's place for him, that can be serious. Money can be paid easily. Destroy my name. So that's why when a person dies, it's important. Announce to them all place, find a place in your heart to forgive them. That's very important. Yeah.
So just one last thing before we move on to the next topic. So for example, if someone passes away and they go on to Barzakh and they've been a good person throughout their life, will they then meet with their family members who have already passed on? For example, like if I passed away, will I meet with my father in Barzakh? And will I be able to recognize him and have our memories?
Yeah, that's a good question. Definitely, Barzakh, as I mentioned, is a relationship between souls without body. So yes, you'll be able to recognize them, especially if all of you are good people, you are in Jannah and enjoying. Why not meet them, recognize each other? And that also when you go to the Qiyamah, where you're going to get heaven, that will also be. But of course, as I mentioned, Qiyamah is with the body and the soul. Definitely, that's it.
So, yeah, thank you for that, Sheikh. Just a quick reminder to all our listeners, I hope you're enjoying it. I think you are by the feedback I'm getting on YouTube chat. So get involved with our discussion tonight. And we're going to move on to our next topic, which is about dreaming. So, for example, Sheikh, when we fall asleep, our soul technically leaves our body.
True.
And so, my question to you is that when we dream something, is that actually happening in another dimension? Like, for example, is my soul leaving my body and is happening somewhere else in reality?
That's a very, very good question. And of course, there are few verses of Quran where the whole issue of dreams were mentioned. One of them, of course, is about Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail. You remember very well, where Ibrahim had a dream slaughtering his son, caused an inspiration from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when he met the son the next day, he said, "My son, inni ara fil manam, I've seen in my sleeping, slaughtering. Fanzur ma tara. Look into it. What do you say? What's your opinion? What's your take?" He said, "Baba, go ahead to do what your God has commanded you, and you'll find me patient." It's a dream. Because when it comes to the history of Yusuf alayhi salam, there's also a question of dream. And the question is, when we sleep, our souls travel about no doubt. And Quran mentioned it also that there are those when they sleep, the soul go, it doesn't come back anymore in death. But there are those when they sleep, the soul comes back. Now, in the world of dream, there are two forms of dreams. You have a real, true dream, and you have fake and satanic dream. Satanic dream is what they call the Sarafat Shaitan. But Satan will make something to seemingly be revealed to you, and you think, "Oh, this is the right thing." You start telling people, and I'll tell you some of the signs. So it's if you sleep on your tummy. Sometimes you sleep, you don't intend to sleep on your tummy, but all of a sudden you turn around on the bed or on the couch, and then you end up being on your tummy. Okay? If you dream that dream, you cannot count it. soul may go, but shaitan is not. And of course, in Islam it's makruh to sleep on your tummy. Muhammad, when he entered the mosque of Kufa, found Ibn Muljim sleeping on his tummy, and then you know that story. 2. There are things that worries a person in his life a lot. So you always bother about it. You dream sometimes. Dreaming doesn't mean that is inspiration. When you go out tonight, got inspiration about it. You're thinking of this every day. You're thinking about the job. You're thinking about the travel. You're thinking about what you want to do in your life. That kind of dream you don't entertain it much. But there are dreams. Say for instance, before you sleep every night, you go to the door. And then your dreams is around Fajr time. Or after Fajr. Those dreams are to be entertained. You have to go and seek explanation from the scholars, the interpretations of dreams. It's not every scholar will interpretation. Some have time to learn it, some define it. But I can tell you, most of the dreams that we have are not true. Yeah.
Alright, that answers it very clearly for me.
Yes.
Something, the curiosity that we were discussing earlier.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
dream of course is there.
But it's something that's just in your imagination. Your soul doesn't really, it's not happening in reality.
No,
somewhere
not
else.
happening. Other will go. Soul will go around, and sometimes it will go one point something good, sometimes one point something bad. So that is why it's important to see clarity, because there are books that are written. If you see this particular thing in your dream, it means this. But before that, Sheikh or whoever is dream interpreter will ask you, when was your dream? What time was it? What did you do before going to sleep? So that will help a person to give you a comprehensive commentary and explaining that dream. Yeah. And there are people, it's like they've got dream diarrhea. Every now and then, every day they dream. So that dream you cannot, that can be associated to either mental health issues or something. Yeah, but I'm not saying everyone. Yeah, Amar.
Sometimes people, they dream about deceased. If it were to be real, would the deceased person know that you were dreaming about them?
So that's good. The possibility is there. But of course, there are people who dream their loved ones who are in Barzakh. That is the connection of your soul to their soul. Okay? Even of course, I've come across some forms of worships. If you want to see your marhumin in their Barzakh, but that is not recommended. Because then if you see them in different way, that may haunt you in your life. But see them is good. It is possible, rather. There are people who see them. But then you come every day, you tell me I see them, every day I see them. Then there must be questions that need to be asked. But why not? Possibility is very high possible. Especially if you have a good relationship with the person and you remember the person with du'as, with Quran, Yasin. Why not? Allah will give you that privilege of meeting them.
Is there any communication between the two? No.
Yeah, that will be in the realm of dream. But that may be right and may be wrong. It's a fine, thin line for you to be saying, no, that is right. Sometimes you may not be right, it's because you've been thinking about the person. And sometimes some scholars say, no, maybe there is a signal the person is trying to tell you. Do this in the house, do this. So the possibility is there. So, but the general recommendation is that when you see your loved ones in a dream and there's a conversation between you and them, the most important thing for you to do the next morning, before you even talk to someone, do something good on their behalf. Because where they are, they need nothing except goodness on their behalf. Literally nothing. Unless if the family are not in talking terms, when we leave them, they definitely will not be happy in their life. Or their wills are not executed. Because Prophet said the first thing to be executed after a person departs from this world is his will. So if his will is not executed, the person definitely will be very sad in his barzakh, and he will know. It's not like something that he will not. He will know my will is not executed. So therefore, their level of capturing understanding is so higher than our level. Yeah. So That's very important.
Sheikh, is there a reason or Islamic reason to, that we have a dream, we wake up, and like an hour, 2 hours later, we won't even remember. We'll be like, I did something, but you completely forget what the whole dream was about. Is there a specific reason to why we can't
So
retain
normally
memories?
dreams doesn't stay long. Because you see, is that, as I mentioned, relationship between souls. Is that very quick conversation. It happens. Like those who said they had the opportunity to meet Imam Zaman, which is not easy. It doesn't just happen. It happens within a certain short space of time. That is why even in psychology, they said when you are taught something or you want to decide on something, you're thinking of the first few minutes or second is what you need to take serious. Otherwise, after that, whatever you think, see that somebody's advice is not yours. Okay? So yes, in dreams like that, it doesn't last too much. And that is why it is not encouraged in Islam to keep telling everyone.
Yeah. Especially
when you see the bad dream. First, do sadaqah, ask Allah for protection. And from an mu'min, just go do. Whether you see them in a good mood or a bad mood, just go and do something higher on their behalf. And that, inshallah, will go along.
Thank you, Sheikh. Thank you for that, Sheikh.
Okay. Yeah, let's go to the next discussion.
Question?
I just had a text question a little while ago. I think it's regarding one of our first topics when we were talking about Muharram. So I'll read that one out and inshallah we can answer that first before we move on. Okay, here we go. Why do we not hear much about Banu Kulthum in the Shia Majalis and Masjid? Please could you shed some light on this?
Yeah, that's very important question. Of course, normally when the Masahib are being recited, normally you realize that we focus on those personalities who really fought and got killed on that day. The ladies, normally we focus on Bibi Zainab and of course Bibi Sakina. But no doubt, all the ladies played major role. Even Kulthum, Ruqayya, Dailam, they all played role. And I totally echo that also. I think it's important we highlight on that so that people get to know and people get to understand. And of course, you realize that even Fatima Sogara was not in Karbala. Normally we mention about her, especially when they came back from Karbala to Medina. So I think I know we mention Kulthum normally in passing to say Kulthum was there, but we do not explain as to what she went through. No doubt all of them went through headache. The women, especially after the killing of Abu Abdullah salam, because when they paraded them on the road, and if you look at the journey from Karbala to Kufa to Sham, it wasn't easy. They were hurling stones at the ladies. Zainab, Bibi Sakina, so they were hurling stones at the ladies. Even when they were about to enter Sham, people were looking at them and they were not used to people looking at them. So definitely, I echo that we need to do more research on her and we need to also inform people about it.
Inshallah, thank you for that, Brother Shabir, who sent the message in. I hope that answers your question.
Alright, Sheikh, we've got another question. So going back to the dreams, there are some people who can dream something that's going to happen in the future and then it does happen, or then they later on they say what you call deja vu.
No. I think we're okay. Sorry about that.
Guys, sit where you are, man. Don't worry. Don't run away, man. It's just to make you relax.
At least trying to run the door.
Don't be serious, guys, man. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, so do you know when people say they have deja vu and that they've done it before, or when they dream about something and then it does actually happen in the future?
Yeah.
How does that fit into this in terms of your dreams? Is that necessarily true in religion?
I know what you're talking about. There are people, they think they are very holy. When they dream something, it happens to not. That is, Allah has already planned it will happen. Yes, we cannot rule out. There are people, genuine dreams, and it happens. Okay? But that doesn't mean that all their dreams will come to fruition. Yes, sometimes they are lucky that it coincided with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my advice will be, when you dream and it always happens, don't think that you are another Masumi here who always, yeah. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, but we have to be careful of that.
So in people's dreams, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I saw the Imam, I saw the Holy Prophet."
Yeah.
How do we know? Well, in terms of pictures, we've never seen one.
Yes.
How do we know what they look like in the dream?
That's a very good one. Many people, especially philosophers, even amongst our Shia philosophers, there are those who have the view that if you've not met a person, how do you know that is the person that you dreamt about? Okay? But then scholars, even the Sufis in Sunni and ulamas of spirituality, they said no. When it comes to the personality of prophets and that of Ahlul Bayt, it's a different ball game. These are Nur, these are light. And there is one tradition to say, Prophet mentioned, whoever sees me in dream, indeed he has sees me, because Shaitan cannot come in my form. Because the other dream is Shaitanic. And we believe Shaitan cannot come in the form of Prophet alayhi salam. So therefore, if a person dreams prophets or dreams Ahlul Bayt, you don't see the face. It's a light. It's a dream. It's inspiration. That inspiration will come once and it will go. It's not like you're going to, even if you meet your loved one, sometimes you don't meet the face. But something in your mind is, no, I'm talking to this particular person. So therefore, the dreams when it comes to prophets, Ahlul Bayt, or even some other great scholars and saints, just light is the Nur. That you say, no, is the Nur. And that's it. It do not come and last for quite a long time. It's within a short space of time and then it goes. So therefore, those who go by that, they said, Shaitan cannot come in the form of prophet and come in your dreams as prophet.
Yeah. Sheikh, just want to recap on something we spoke about last time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're very passionate about how we should be more involved in media.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what I was thinking is that, do you believe that, as we were growing up, we were told that the Dajjal, the one-eyed devil, is going to come one day.
Yeah.
Do you think that media is something that takes part in, promoting like this one-eyed vision, which is helping, changing the way people think?
Yeah, definitely there are discussions among scholars as to what is going to be the Dajjal. Okay? So therefore, when you read the traditions, even the traditions I've read, there's this Dajjal with one eye who will come as a person to misguide people. But the discussion that has been taking place for quite a long time say, no, Dajjal is a system. Okay? It's a system to misguide people, to mislead people, to take people to, away from God Almighty. So definitely that can be one of them. And that is why I'm passionate about us getting involved with media. Because today, what runs the world is the media. And our youngsters, they are not fancy of becoming journalists. They're not fancy of working in the media house. And that is where it is happening. That is where informations are disseminated, of course, in politics. But yes, definitely, some are misleading, and it's part of the system. Okay? So Christians, they may look at it and say Antichrist, isn't it? Although some of them also may refer to Muslims as Antichrist. That will say it's out of ignorance. But definitely there is a lot of things in place that we need to be careful about, and we need to be able to also withstand it and play our part and play our role. Yeah.
So do you know how you said that it's a system?
Yeah.
So when you encourage people to become politicians, become MPs,
yeah,
and go into government,
yeah,
well then what's your response to those who say that, well then you're joining the system and you're becoming part of the system?
No, you see, if you feel and you think something is wrong, the best way to attend to it is to have an alternate or to join so that you can lessen the harm. But if you stand your way, you keep quiet, you're not going to do anything. It will escalate more.
Wasn't it the 9th Imam's companions are within the Abbasids?
Yeah, of course. There's nothing wrong to join. There are many good things about joining politics, by the way. There are so many good things. Your NHS is decided by politicians. Your labor issues, HR, are decided by politicians. There are so many good things. And you can also be more productive within your community and within your society. And your voices will be heard also. You understand? So I don't patronage the idea that this is evil, that you stay away from it. I do nothing. You stay, in fact, you keeping quiet and doing nothing about it, you are causing the evilness because you are becoming evil. But if you think what is happening is wrong and you think you've got something, so make your way there, strive to get to that level so that you can also add your voice when the discussions are taking place. At the end of the day, it's a democratic right that all of us have. If today you are a councillor at the local council, when you go there, your voice will be heard about way or the other. Nobody will shut you down. It's a democratic society. And you must understand, not everything that is being implemented, that is being passed, will please everyone. Some will not please us as Muslims. Some will not even please Christians. But at the end of the day, Islam invites us to be law-abiding citizens. You have to be law-abiding, no matter what the situation. Because if you don't want to become law-abiding citizen, then you are going not against the constitution of the country, but you are also going against the teachings of Islam. Because Islam is about order, isn't it?
But then what happens when a law contradicts Islam?
Yeah. What do? It's not an Islamic society. At least you've got the opportunity to pray your salah. You are not asked to stop praying. There are many countries, bro, Muslim countries, you cannot go out wearing this turban. Muslim countries. So we are lucky. We're free. We can go on the street and make matter. We are giving them permission. Other countries, you'll be massacred. They will not even allow you. So you may disagree, but your freedom of religion is granted. That is to me something bigger. Your freedom of religion is granted. When we give lectures, it's online. Go to some Muslim countries. I can count you so many. You'll like it. So therefore, you'll not like everything. But at the end of the day, I can say, what do we want to practice as Muslims and we are not able to do it here? Give me one. There's none. Give me one. There is none. We're free.
Even Malangi can do takbir.
Well, I mean, we're free. At least we have our constitution and we can go, and if our rights are violated, we can go and challenge it. But some Muslim countries, you go, yeah, Husayn outside, he will be thrown inside somewhere. So we need to look at the positive side of everything. You know what I mean?
While we're on the topic of laws, I know today in your Majlis you mentioned about paying tax on incomes and being legit. I was talking to a couple of brothers outside and they were saying as their argument, I'm not going to say if they avoid tax or not.
Yeah, no problem.
But they were saying that the reason why they may not pay tax is due to the fact that, the money the government are using, they're using to kill our Shias and people in Palestine. Why should I pay them tax and I can give that money to
So I disagree with them. Completely, I disagree with them. In the sense that if you tell me you are a citizen or a resident, you agree on certain principles. So if you think it's not the right place, just go out somewhere and live somewhere. That's my personal argument. Go somewhere. Look, you've got your NHS. But it's not saying entirely everything goes your way. Which you go is part of the tax you pay. At least it's something good, which you will not find it in many countries of the world. Number 2, school. Free. Of course, not the private schools and the grammar schools. Of course, I've got public grammar schools. Free. Where is it coming from? It's from the tax you're paying. Isn't it? Number 3. Service delivery by the local council. Your bills are collected. Your rules are made. It's a part of it. If you want to see it absolute, it will not happen absolute. And I will tell a person, if you do not pay and you end up in trouble, it's your own cup of tea. So rather play safe and be law-abiding citizen. It will never be absolute, but at least there are benefits that we are getting, and we need to appreciate that. But if you want to go to that level of being extreme, then I will say the best thing to do, there are countries you can go, you pay your tax, maybe it will happen the way you want. But I promise you, if you go there, there are things that you will not like, you run away yourself. So in everything, we need to look at the positive part of it and the negative. And the good thing about the rule of law is what? You can challenge how your tax is spent. When the HR or whatever, they send you your statements, at least I've seen, they will tell you this is how your tax is distributed, isn't it? £2 go here, £30 go here, at least. If you're not happy, go and challenge them. Okay? But rather than say, no, I'm not gonna, no, it's neither here nor there. And I will never support that, no matter what. I encourage people, pay, and inshallah, it is altered. There are support also that people in other countries get from here. And the good thing is, if you support charity, your tax is reduced. If you support charity here, your tax is reduced. What of people who are coming from Africa, some African countries, I'm not saying all. Roads are terrible. If you are sick and you're not rich, be rest assured, by the time you get to the hospital, you may die. And people are paying there. You see? So therefore, you have to look at it different ways. And look at some of our countries that we say, the corruptions that are taking place. We don't want to mention names. But leave it there, man.
Okay, I had a few questions come through. So we'll go through that. But first of all, the priority message is from my mom. And she gives salams to Sheikh Nuru.
MashaAllah, Mom, we enjoyed your biryani that night. Thank you, Mama. Allah bless you, Mama.
Thank you. She's listening right now and she's saying, please tell Sheikh his majlis were all very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And my mom doesn't speak English very well, and she still understood and she enjoyed it. So.
MashaAllah, Mama. Pray for us, Mama. We need your du'as.
Inshallah, for all of us.
Inshallah.
Okay, so I have a question from a number +1. So
that's
somewhere in the US? North America, yeah?
Could be Canada, could be United States.
There we go. Okay, so we got international crowd tonight. Salam. Ask Sheikh, please, why can someone who sees the 12th Imam and talks to him is not allowed to speak about it until after their death?
That's a very serious one. And tonight, that was the topic I had, of course, about Imam al-Zaman and the relationship between his uprising and that of Imam Husayn alayhi salam. The reason as to why we are discouraged from telling people is that there are a lot of false, statements that are put across about Imam al-Zaman, so that people will not entertain everyone who comes to them and tell them, I've seen Imam al-Zaman. Otherwise, if the door is wide open, every Tom, Dick and Harry will come and say, you know what? Yesterday when I met Imam al-Zaman, and people will give him the hearing. But of course, if you look at our books or our teachings, we are told some of the great scholars like Allama Hilli and them, they had opportunities to meet Imam al-Zaman. And later on, after they are there, we got to know, it's just to discourage people, to say, look, meeting Imam al-Zaman is not like taking a glass of water and drink. It's a mission. And anyone who meet him also will not just come out open and quickly and start talking about it. It will take some time to discourage people. Because there are people, I remember very well when I used to study in the house, I used to work in the office of one of the marjas. So questions used to come. I remember very well, there was a time when a question came saying that Imam Mahdi appears somewhere in the Middle East. And to our shock, there were people who were flocking there to meet this guy who claimed to be Imam Zaman. And they said now Imam Zaman comes, so Qiyamah is coming, so no Salah, no fasting, homes has to be taken to Imam Zaman. So because of that, we are discouraged that it has to be documented, so that when the person leaves this world, people can be informed. Because that can also bring about arrogance in a person. And that can bring them. Because when you tell people they're going to take you as a saint. Oh, this person now, even when you enter mosque, the look will be different. And then that can overwhelm you, and you will lose that spirituality which maybe helped you to be able to meet Imam Zaman. So these are some of the reasons.
Thank you. I hope that answers your question. And
Sheikh, so that brings us on to our next topic.
Lovely.
Sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
The importance of Sirat al-Rahim.
No.
How important is it? Obviously, we know it's very, very, very important, but we tend to see, the
very, very important.
the both sides, because like there may be a family dispute, and where one brother may not talk to the other brother may try to put forward their argument and say that let's past is the past, let's leave it, forgive and forget, but the other party just doesn't want to know what can be done in them sort of situations. Just then you just have to give up and leave it.
Yeah, you can't give up. You see, Sile Rahim occupies a very important position within the religion of Islam, be it in Quran or in the traditions of the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt. I give you one ayah just to save time. Surah An-Nisa, just first ayah. If you go towards the last ayah, Allah said, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي تَسَاءَلُونَ بِهِ وَالْأَرْحَامَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلَيْكُمْ رَقِيبًا. Said, fear Allah, have taqwa. But have taqwa in doing what? When it comes to your family relationship. وَالْأَرْحَامَ. Fear Allah in the way you deal with your family members. To such an extent, our Prophet mentioned, strengthen your family relationship, even if it is with dates. You have nothing to offer, nothing to strengthen that relationship, even dates. And narration says, strengthen your family relationship with water. And definitely, we have tradition from our Imam. He is accursed who sever family relationship. And when I talk of family relationship, I'm not talking of only you, your husband, your wife, and your children. I'm talking of your mama, your chacha, you know what I mean? Your uncle.
The full Monty.
Yeah, the full Monty. Proper, full board. In fact, Islam is telling you, don't even close the chapter with Muslims, let alone your family members. Look at Quran. Even if your parents are not Muslims, still Quran says, don't follow them in them misleading you towards something. But you have to be kind to them. You have to strengthen that relationship to them. So now, say in a situation where a family member become a thorn on your neck, issue, problem, headache, stomach pain, whatever you try, Islam still says at least you can keep salam between the two. So if say you are aware that people are not in talking terms, and you get to know, your duty and your responsibility is not to take side, is to ensure that you bring them together. How do you do? Quran mentioned, Surah Al-Hujarat, in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in fatabayyanu. When someone comes to you complaining about someone, what do? You call the two of them. He said, he can't be saying this, but try to reconcile between them. At least if they don't want to sit, they don't want to hang around, they don't want to chill out, fine. Salam should be. And today I tell people, if it's very, very difficult, send message. Try to, reconcile. Because at the end of the day, you've been hurt. You also hurt so many people. And so therefore it's important we try to patch
Is
the wounds.
is there any situation where ties can be severed, or does Islam not allow for anything?
Islam doesn't allow that.
For like, say for example, even your child became an atheist and says,
Ah,
I don't want to believe in your
you
religion.
see,
And
when a child becomes an atheist, you need to first find out why, how, and try to guide the person. No, it's not a gone case. You need to do your homework and try to see if you can help out. Otherwise, the person just decide to take his way and then you say, no, I'm going to cut ties. That's not allowed. You have to try as much as we can if we can help out to guide people, because the reasons lead to certain things and things happen for a purpose and reasons. So it's always important we are not a rush to cut off relationship.
we've got a question in from somebody.
Yeah.
It says, would Sila Rahim apply in the situation where my widowed mother got remarried and I didn't get along with my stepfather at all? He obviously is not my blood relative. Thank you for the question.
MashaAllah. Thank you for the question, bro or sister. Yeah, so now, if you are not getting along with your stepfather, isn't it?
Yes.
Try to keep that cordial relationship because of your mom. Because at the end of the day, he's married
For your
to
mom's
mom,
sake.
and it's like a father to you. Okay?
Yes.
You're not getting along, I realize that. Don't sit and have long discussions. But accord him that respect.
Keep it sweet.
Yeah, keep it sweet. You get my point?
Yeah.
Accord him that respect that you accord your mom. Because at the end of the day, your mom loves him. So your mom respects him. He's the husband, isn't it?
Sure.
So accord him that respect is crucial. It's important. Don't say, no, you're going to cut off stepfather. I've got nothing to do with him. But how are you going to meet your mom? When he can tell you, look, don't go and meet the child. The boy.
Yeah.
So try to keep it simple and chill out a bit. Don't stress yourself too much, okay?
Hopefully that answers the question. And guys, do text in. Don't be shy. It's fully interactive. We can get some calls in as well. You can speak directly to Sheikh Nuru before he leaves us.
No, I'm not leaving when I live just close by. I'm just down the road, man. Bremy. The sound is good now, I hope. There are people online.
So Sheikh, just quickly before we move on, I heard a little theory that apparently during the time of Ashura and a couple of days before, that I think it was either Hazrat Qasim or Ali Akbar, but one of them was married off during this time.
There is a debate on that.
Yeah.
Some scholars are of the view that Hazrat Ali Akbar got married, but Qasim did not happen. That is why you see the night of Shah Qasim, ladies, these things, and all those things we need to discuss them one time, inshallah. But that's the general, that's according to some. It was Hazrat Ali Akbar was married. But other scholars, which I think they're in majority, they are not of the view that he got married. He couldn't get that opportunity. Otherwise, the history would have mentioned the name of the wife. He would have known the wife. Maybe the wife could have also joined them in the holy land of Karbala. But as I said, there are differences of opinion when it comes to this historical.
Okay, so my question was that, do you know we have, with our Sunni brothers, they have narrations that say Aisha was 9.
Yeah.
So and what's our position on that? B, how old was Sayyidah Fatima when she first had Imam Hassan, and until when she died? Because she was 18 when she died, right?
Yeah.
So just those two questions.
So of course we do not agree with the notion that Aisha was 9 when the Holy Prophet married her. We don't agree to that at all. Yes, there's a general perception, and of course people try to say, look, because of the timing, geographical demarcations were different, people used to grow quicker, but still we believe she was more than 10 years, she was more than 15, 16, 17 years, okay? That's our belief when it comes to Aisha. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, and then Sayyidah Fatima?
If Fatima also, we don't believe she was young, the way maybe people are saying. We don't believe she was young.
How old was she when?
So what was the age gap between Imam Hassan and Zainab? That's the question we need to ask. If she died as 18, maybe she got married at 16, whatever. But definitely that is also, there is a debate.
Yeah. Because But often what we hear is that she passed away at 18.
Yeah, that's still.
She had four.
Some scholars said no, she died a bit older than that age.
Yeah.
And that is where I subscribe to. Because if you look at it, you say 18. So when did she got married? When did she got Imam Hassan, Imam Husayn, Zainab, and 9 at 18? So you're looking at maybe 14, you're looking at 13. You know, it doesn't sit well, it doesn't happen. And even like, it's like the age of Khadija. I do not believe, not me, I mean, there are teachings that Khadija got married to Prophet at the age of 40. She was less than 40. And even this whole notion of saying she got married and then the husbands died and then she got married to Prophet. I mean, there are a section of our scholars who do not subscribe to that, and I'm with them. You understand? So there are so many things that we need to clear up. And like the question of Bibi Fatima is very clear. If you say she died as 18, when did she got Imam Hassan? It means she was very young. And that there are so many questions that may come up. So we are going to that level to say, no, the age was higher and bigger than that. And then you go back to our history and get the nice facts and the right facts.
Cool. Just one more thing, and then I think we'll bring the show to a
an
close.
end because I see Brother
Ammar is falling asleep.
Ammar is falling asleep. He needs some chai and I don't know, some barbecue.
There we go.
Seri barbecue. You remind me, man. Samir loves Seri barbecue. Smashing it, man.
Right. So in Karbala, we speak about Sakina, and we also hear about Ruqayya. And the confusion sometimes comes that it's the same person that we're speaking about.
Yeah.
So what can you say to...
Absolutely. Definitely, when people hear Ruqayya, they say the same. When people hear Sakina, they say the same. But these are two different personalities. So one, buried in Sham. Who is buried there? Who can tell me?
Ruqayya.
Very good. Where is Bibi Sakina?
This is what originally when I went for my first ziyarah in Sham, I was told that it's the same person.
Yes, myself beginning. But then I decided to find out and make my own research. These are two different personalities. And of course, they are all close to Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. So of course, the one who was in Karbala is Bibi whose clothes catch fire. Yes, some of the view that she's buried in Saudi Arabia, some of the view that she's buried somewhere else in Sham. But definitely these are two different personalities. It's like the whole question of Kulthum. People telling Omar married Kulthum, Omar the second Khalifa. These are two different things. So it's a difference. So these names, of course, when it comes to Ali Asghar, we have Abdullah Rabi and Ali Asghar. That's same name. Otherwise, these are two different personalities. We've got some question.
We've had a question here from
Now you must
from a
ask
brother.
youth staff.
This is the question. What was the reason for the Prophet marrying women who were not good? I think he's basically assuming two certain personalities, but which resulted that Allah sending a revelation of Surah Tawbah.
Classic.
I think this is a Malankia.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, man. You know, everything happened for a reason. If you look at the way Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala addressed prophets, for instance, there are things that Allah made it obligatory on prophets, and it's not obligatory on us. Questions like tahajjud and them. Even if you look at the number of wives that prophet married, we are not allowed that. They were happening for a particular reason. Because yes, some of those that we believe, they did not treat prophet well. They were better, it was better of them being closer to prophet than they were away from prophet. So this could be one of the reasons. So that to reduce the level of the damage and the level of the musiba. You understand? Let's leave it there now. We can talk that later.
Off air, right?
Yeah, off air.
I want to go off air.
Proper.
I think, luckily, well, it's one caller that's what has a question for Sheikh. So we're going to put that on, and then I think we'll bring the show to a close, because I'm sure we're all hungry and tired, and I think they've just cut the phone off. Oh no, they're here. Okay, go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I know my question is not related to the topic, but it's something that I hope you could shed some light on.
Okay.
It's to do with if an Imam of Jamaat is leading Salah and his Makharij or Tajweed is not correct, how do we go about correcting this? So who's responsible, and what do you do when people are shy to tell them because they're either old or don't know that they're reciting incorrectly and may even feel bad if you tell them?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
May Allah bless you. I think this is a very important question. No doubt, any Imam who leads Salah, his Makharij should assume the top priority. Without proper Makharij, then there's problem.
So what?
The boys are enjoying the discussion and they are laughing, but this is very serious and this is very important. So now, how do we correct it? That is the question. The best way to correct it is for some elders in the community, or if there is a scholar in the community, so refer the matter to the scholar, and the scholar can draw the attention of the Maulana in a very, humble and respectful way to say, Maulana, I'm sorry, but following you, I realize here and there when it comes to the Makharij, there are areas that if he explains himself fine, but definitely something needs to be done. We can't keep quiet. Either talk to a Maulana to talk to him, or somebody that you think the Maulana respects or the Mullah respects. But we should try to avoid confrontation, to just meet him, confronting him and tell him, you know what, your Makharij is not good. We don't want you to lead Salati anymore. Find ways, some mediums to talk to him, and inshallah, Allah will bless. You cannot keep quiet when you see it not going the right way. We need to voice it out and we need to talk about it. And this is very important, because without proper Makharij, then it becomes a mission meant following that particular person in Salah.
Okay, well, I hope that's answered your question. And I've just got one more for you.
Lovely.
So Imam Ali's name isn't in the original Adhan. It's been added.
Yeah.
But when did that addition start? Where did it come from? Who added it?
I love this question. I really love this question, Brother Ali. I'm sure you heard there are so many discussions about this. But I will tell you, during my research, my journey of becoming a Shia, that was one thing which was not sitting well with me. Why are you adding Imam Ali's name in Adhan? And this wasn't in the Adhan which the Holy Prophet administered, okay? Of course, we have our general Shia reasons as to why the name Imam Ali is added. And of course, we have some scholars, some Maraji or Marja, who are always of the view that no, it must be part. You cannot omit it. We have one or two Marja who said must. Without it, the Adhan is not. But the general from the Shia is that, Imam Ali was cursed on Member for 15 good years. 15 good years, Banu Umayyah. They were cursing Imam Ali. So Shias came out and said, you know what? We are going to announce to the world after Prophet is Ali. So hence they put Azan. But when did it start? According to my personal research, it started during the time of prophets. And I'll tell you how. I forgot the name of the book. And there is a book written by Egyptian scholar. I have the book in my library back home, my book shelf. He said there was a time when Salman al-Farisi was on the Mu'adhin. It was Bilal and Maktoum the blind. Salman made Adhan. And after Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, Salman said Ashhadu anna Aliyan Waliyullah. So all those who were there, they were shocked. This is a new Adhan. We've never heard Adhan like this. What's going on? So they rushed to Prophet inside to say, Rasulullah, we've heard something new. Rasulullah asked them, what is that new thing that you heard today? He said, Salman is making Allah, reciting Azan, and after your name he mentioned Ali, Waliullah. Then Prophet said, Qala al-khair. Salman said the right thing. So to me, that was when it started. Because you realize that there were few companions during that time who were known to be the Shias of Ali. Salman, Bilal, Miqdad, Abu Dharr. Because people demonstrated their enmity in different ways to Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. And these others, they didn't agree to that. So therefore, the Adhan definitely, according to me, started during the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
And then I've just got another question I thought. So we obviously hear a lot about the Imam and the Holy Prophet, Imam Ali and the Holy Prophet, when they were Muslims. But obviously the Prophet didn't receive the message of Islam till, was it the age of about 40, was it? When he got it?
Prophet became a prophet, yeah. Yani for his prophethood to be announced publicly.
Mm-hmm.
But we believe he was a prophet before even he was born.
Yeah. Yes. So in terms of their religious beliefs and, for example, halal food, praying namaz, was that instilled in them before it was publicly announced?
That's a good point. You see, our belief is that you cannot become a prophet or imam if all around you are not clean. What is all around? Your grandfather, your grandmom, background, all. Because there's ayah of Quran, I forgot the ayah number. Allah says, you Prophet Muhammad, Allah transfer you between those people who prostrated. So the question you will ask is, before the coming of the prophets, what were the form of worship people had? All prophets, today like I was mentioning my Juma, Salah, but their Salat wasn't like the way we are doing Salah. This Salat of Ruku Sujud started with the coming of our Prophet Muhammad, of course after he became 40 years, and mostly started in Medina, not in Mecca. Most of the things started in Medina, not in Mecca, because in Mecca was the beginning of Islam. But yes, the deen that time was to believe in the oneness of Allah and to believe in that messenger of Allah. Hence we believe uncle of prophets Abu Talib and Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of prophet, they were all in the deen of Ibrahim alayhi salam, believing in one Allah, not worshipping idol, and believing in that prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So in that time, before Islam was revealed publicly, were there such things as halal and haram food at the time?
That wasn't there, but there were general ethics. Because the general ethics to treat somebody well and to go and prostrate in front of Kaaba to worship God, to call God. But the most important is the general ethics. Like if you read Bible, there's what they call the 10 Commandments. It's all about social ethics, general ethics. So that is there. Because that is a general principle. You wouldn't need any religion to be able to understand that, to treat someone well is like that. But apart from that, there were no these things of halal, haram, like the way we have it today. Because things have evolved a lot during the time of our beloved prophet. Yeah. Any other question?
No, I think that's it for tonight. It's been an honor to have you here on our shows, and thank you for giving us your time to take part in the Behlool Radio this year. Inshallah, hope to have you again very, very soon.
Great pleasure, great pleasure, great pleasure.
And I hope that everyone enjoyed the show. Sorry for the sound problems, but hopefully...
there's a question here.
Okay.
My question is regarding book you suggested to read to increase our knowledge about Karbala in detail. Jazakallah with du'as from Azim Premji. Proper Hajj Azim. May Allah bless you, man. Yes, there are so many books that we can read to familiarize ourselves with what happened in Karbala. There is a simple book which is written by Dr. Mahmoud Datu, who is in London. I forgot the name of the book, but something Karbala. If you Google, I'm sure you'll get it. And the best place to get these books, go to www.alislam.org. You'll find a lot of books and information on Karbala, and that inshallah will help. Yeah. Okay, bro.
Second last question.
MashaAllah, there are some good viewers online.
So going back to the Prophet and when his life. There's that with Surah Iqra, people say that the Prophet was illiterate and he could not read or write before the message came. Do we believe that in our school of thought within Shiism?
You see, to say the word illiterate is a bit harsh, but I understand people ask that question. Okay? What we say is Allah taught prophets. He didn't learn from anyone. He didn't learn, because some said if you say illiterate, it's when you say prophet illiterate,
Mm-hmm.
But we believe as Shias, he had no teacher. His teacher is Allah, of course, through Jibreel.
But was that after the Surah Iqra was?
After the message came, because that was when everything was publicly announced. But we believe he was a prophet before he was created, because he mentioned kuntu nabiyyan wa Adam bayna tin wal ma. I was a prophet when Adam was between clay and water. That's a bit mystical and spiritual, isn't it? Yeah. And what I was mentioning, Adam had to make tawassul of Muhammad, Ali, Fatima, Hassan, and Husayn when he came. Because Allah's plan is that the end of the world, I will send this. So therefore, each and every prophet, he will inform them, this is my last prophet, this is my last messenger. So therefore, publicly, when he was at 40 and his message was announced, that was the time Iqra started and Allah taught him. So Allah taught him. That is honor of a prophet, because you don't have anyone to teach you. It's like our imams. It's either the imam is their teacher or inspiration from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we say their knowledge is knowledge by presence. It's not acquired knowledge.
Thank you, Sheikh.
Thank you, man, bro. Yeah, Ammar needs some barbecue sahari, man. Ammar is chilling, man.
Okay. The next question was, what happens to people before Islam? So the people before Islam came, and they didn't follow any religion, what happens to them?
That's a good question. But you see, Allah kept sending prophets up until Isa. But there was a gap, isn't it? Before the coming of our prophets. Okay? I'm sure the person is asking about Jahiliyyah, if I'm not mistaken. Because there is pre-Islamic period. That's the period of Jahiliyyah. Jahiliyyah means ignorance. There's nothing. No book to guide. They were just going about their life. No belief in the beginning and no belief in the end. Okay? So the general concept of Islam is anyone who dies on account of ignorance. And his ignorance is not on account of negligence. It's on account of lack of access. Allah will take care of that person. There shouldn't be any headache there. But if the ignorance is on account of negligence, even if it is today, let alone that time, okay, then of course there will be a problem. So therefore, those who did not receive any message from any prophets, and the message of even Prophet Ibrahim did not get to them, and they died like that, definitely Allah will find a space for them somewhere.
So I hope that answers for you.
Yeah.
And that will bring us to
Hassan is saying that their food
everyone's
is getting cold, man.
everyone is saying the food is getting cold.
Yeah.
So we are going to bring it to
I
a
hope
close
after
now.
all this show, the food is
Banging.
banging, man.
So inshallah, we will be back again soon. Hopefully Sheikh Nuru will come back and join us again for another session.
Inshallah.
And remember all our Marumeens with the Surah Fatiha, and we'll be back again soon.
And inshallah, we remember Brother Ammar's father.
Ammar, yes.
Marhum, what's his name?
Sajjad.
Sajjad Kareem, inshallah, Marhum. With Surah Al-Fatiha, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you so much. Those who are online, may God bless you, man. We'll see you. Keep remembering Imam Husayn alayhi salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.